Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
Good morning and welcome along to Chasing Winners on this Friday morning. David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw with you, along with the great man Matty McDermott here at TAB Radio headquarters. Welcome to you, Jesse. How do we find you today?
Absolutely fantastic. Yourself, Shorty. Some exciting racing happening tonight at Mandurah with the Derby final and the heats of the Oaks, which I thought actually had a bit of quality about them compared to recent years where it's been a little bit lacklustre, the Oaks. Some
very, very talented bitches strutting their stuff there tonight, as you have alluded to. The Derby final, wow, isn't it an open race? So can make a case for nearly all 8 runners, and the quality's there. There's plenty of these dogs that are capable of running very slick times. It's going to be a highlight there, race number 8 on the program this evening, as well as getting a look at those younger girls earlier on in the night. And, of course, Saturday night out there at Cannington, another tremendous evening to look forward to. We had heats of the Sprinters Plate last week. Gee, there were some dragsters on show there. It's left us with a cracking final on a Saturday night, just under $14,000 up for grabs in the feature over the 380 metres there. Really good free-for-all over the 600 along with the 380 metres, and some nice sprinters as well in that 520 free-for-all. We get to see the Sandgroper place getter Sunset Frazier taking on the likes of Runaway to Mars, Pudding Manella, Eugenius, Bungee Man, Hinto and Inside Scoop. And speaking of the Sandgroper, Jesse, last night there were 5 dogs from the Sandgroper that went around on the East Coast. 4 of them won.
Well, that's good form lines.
Talk about a hot form race. That was certainly the case. 3 of them winning heats of the Warrnambool Cup. And, of course, Hector Forley, the winner of the Sandgroper Elite Areas. Absolutely steaming hot free-for-all across there at Sandown last night. And Hector was devastating. Another stunning performance. Well done to Lisa Cockrell, and all the Hector Forley fans would have been doing cartwheels. It was a magnificent performance. But we got to see Trooper Tears, Morton, and also Fernando Phil winning their Warrnambool Cup heat. So stick with that Sandgroper form, punters, and what it also outlines is what great judges the slot holders were to get real top quality informed dogs.
Yeah, hitting their straps exactly when they needed to. And well done to the trainers as well, because not only did they prepare him for the Sandgroper, they've also had to bring him back in the space of 7 days, essentially go race him over there. But I'm sure more comfort in their own kennel at home. But it's still a big effort to back up off a pretty long flight for these hounds from Perth to Melbourne.
Most definitely. So we will, Sunset Frazier's the next of them, and we'll get to see Sunset Frazier's Saturday night there in race 4, the free-for-all. All right, let's get into a Friday night chasing there at Mandurah, as we touched on an excellent card for the punters to get involved with. 12 races up for debate this evening, and can't wait to roll into this program. The first comes up 6:59 WA time. Tab Touch fixed odds markets are up in the first. Vacants in 3 and 6. Nitro's Ruby heads up betting at $3.20 from Zulu Buddy $3.40. Silly Old Bear $3.80 and under she goes at $4.20. Chance Bracton at 5. The outsider of the field is Manila Emperor at 21. How do you see the first tonight, Jesse?
I'm going with a bit of value here. 182 and 7. 1 Bracton ran a really nice race on Tuesday behind Confetti Emoji. Was only beaten by about 3 lengths on the line, but I thought was really held his own from a wide draw. Comes into box number 1 where he doesn't have a bad record. I thought could take this affair out. For second, 8 Nitro's Ruby. For third, 2 Silly Old Bear. And for fourth, I'll throw in 7 Zulu Buddy. 182 and 7, race number 1.
182 and 7 for Jesse. I'm similar. I've just flipped around those first 2 numbers, 8, 1, 2 and 7. I thought 5, obviously under she goes, you give some respect to as well. But number 8 here, Nitro's Ruby's got an excellent record off box number 8 and has been racing pretty well in recent times for Shane Beard. The kennel mate drawn in 1 is similar. Bracton loves an inside draw and gets a great opportunity to play a part. Didn't have a stack between them, to be honest. Thought they could be battling it out there late. Number 2, Silly Old Bear's never far from the action, placed at its last 3 on the bounce. And number 7, Zulu Buddy, next best. 8, 1, 2 and 7 for me in race number 1 on the program. Moving on to the second tonight there at Mandurah. It's clear of scratchings. This is a mixed grade 5 and 6 over the 400 metres of 50 years of racing. Alan Ridley, I thought it looked at 2, maybe 3 sort of key chances in the race, but this has come up very trim. Curate's Egg, $1.36 on the fixed odds. Cupid's Dream, $3. Sneaky Pint, 12. Zach's Thunder at 15. At 17 and upwards the rest.
I've gone with 1, 3, 7 and 4. Curate's Egg on top. He's going to get all the room in the world. Fabian's Gold's not electric out of a box, and Cupid's Dream does like to shift off the track. So Curate's Egg, I think, for Pete, who's not with us today, can get the rails one. Be pretty hard to beat. It was a nice second, 2 back behind Sunset Tyson. Drops down to the 400 metres. Probably doesn't quite suit him as well as we have seen him over the 520, but I think he's going to be still pretty hard to beat. The price is so awfully short. For second, 3, Cupid's Dream. Really nice run through the Peel Plate Series. Won a heat in 22.42, was third in the final. Stepped up to the 488. He wasn't a bad run behind Sunset Nightjar in a heat of the Derby. For third, number 7, West On Marshall. And for fourth, I'll throw on 4, Sneaky Point. 1, 3, 7 and 4, race number 2.
Yeah, no flash prices here, Curate's Egg, but it does look beautifully placed. As Jesse's alluded to, the map's ideal. Cupid's Dream getting up the track. Slow beginner in 2. It really does allow Curate's Egg to punch up on the fence despite it having its first start here over 400 on what we've seen at Cannington. That performance going back a couple of starts ago, 4 starts ago now, 29.85 behind Sunset Tyson. That's an excellent form reference for a race of this nature. Hard to beat, but short enough. From 3, Cupid's Dream. Probably prefer it drawn a little wider on the track, but if there is a danger, it probably looks the most likely. 4, Sneaky Pint. I thought that effort last time out was quite good. Happy to have it in the mix. And 8, Zach's Thunder. 1, 3, 4 and 8 for me. Race number 2. Tuned in to Chasing Winners on this Friday morning where it's 9:15. David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw with you. Having a look at tonight's Mandurah program. We're up to race number 3. It's the novice grade 5. Science strategy call Phil over the 400 metres. More open affair this time round, Jesse. 2, Ronnie's heads up betting at $3.40 in front of Fancy That Fred $4.60. Glasgow Boy, that same quote. $6, Oreo Apprentice off the inside. Taming the Tiger's been in good form. It's a $6 chance. And Send It You Know off the pink at $6.50.
I've gone with 5, 7, 8 and 1. 5, Fancy That Fred. I thought run was full of merit in the Derby heat there. He's just a little bit outclassed, and he matched motors with the talented Meineke Boy. Was a good winner in 22.40 over the 400 metres. He really likes this trip. He's run some cracking sectionals over the 488. I think he should be in front here and pretty hard to beat. For second, number 7, 2, Ronnie's was a really good run last week, was well supported. And for third, number 8, in Send It You Know, wasn't a bad run at Cannington last week, and a novice behind Torino. A little bit outclassed there. Steps back up to Mandurah here, where it has been placed on 4 occasions. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1, Oreo Apprentice off the good draw. 400 metre form, certainly not as good as his 488 metre form, but he's definitely in it with a chance. I'm going 5, 7, 8 and 1, race number 3.
7 on top for me, 2 Ronnies. I really enjoyed this dog's effort last week from the wide draw. Speared out from this sort of alley. There is pace drawn inside tonight, but if 2 Ronnies can reproduce that early burn from last week, I think it can put itself right up there and be pretty hard to beat again. From number 6 in Glasgow Boy for Kirsty Moore, who is going really well. Wins at 2 of his last 3. Comes into this with serious claims again. Number 1, Oreo Apprentice. That win 3 back was very good. It's gone as quick as 22.6 here. I think it can hit the frame. And then I had not much between 3, Taming the Tiger, another for Kirsty Moore, who's aiming up at a winning hat-trick. 5, Fancy That Fred, as you alluded to, was in a really hot Derby field last week. I think it can certainly play a part with some luck early. And 8, Send It You Know, can hit the frame as well. Pretty open race, 7, 6, 1 and 3 in the third. On to race number 4 tonight at Mandurah. And here we've got the vacant in box number 5, and it is the first of the Oaks heats tonight, Jesse.
We have some scratchings through. Race 1, takeout number 4, Manila Emperor. The reserve out of race number 3. Reserves out of the Derby final, race 8. Race 9, takeout number 3, Waffles Manelli. And, of course, earlier on, we already knew that race 10, number 4, Unleashed Mayhem, was already a scratching. So they're the scratchings for tonight there, Shorty.
Beautifully done, Jesse. We now roll back to the first of these Oaks heats for tonight at Mandurah. It's the 50 years of racing Ashley Platel And it's over the 488 metres. Sunset Hornet, our odds-on favourite, at $1.80 in from $2. West on Miley, 6 into 5. Stylish in Black, 5 and firm. Sunset Lasso, 5 out to $5.50. Our Gold Jupiter, 8 to 11. Trunky Irene's 13, as big as 17 now. 12 on the outside of the field wise. Kunak, $21 out from 15.
Interesting affair. I'm going to take a chance here with the Sunset Hornet. It's pretty short, but this greyhound did break the track record over the 400 metres in 21.90. Hasn't stepped up to the 488 yet in her career, but you would think off that a nice little tune-up at Cannington in the City 4-5 when fifth behind Eugenie. So it wasn't a bad run in 30 and 31. Did cop a couple of checks. I think will definitely improve. Went 5.49 early, which is probably the main thing that we've got to keep an eye on here. Early speed definitely does win races, and I think Sunset Hornet can lead throughout, even with the step up in trip. For second, number 4, West on Marley. This is a proven free-for-all chaser. She goes around here in an open class race. She's had plenty of starts over the track. I think she can play a prominent part. For third, number 8, Stylish in Black, was good to sub-30-second winner last week in Provincial 5 Company. And for fourth, I'll throw in number 3, Our Girl Jupiter, who's racing well in novices, just can't quite manage to win one, but is showing a lot of early dash. 6, 4, 8 and 3, race 4.
I'm happy to be on West on Miley here each way. I think the support's been good early. 6 out of 6.50 now into 5. As you've alluded to, the greyhounds coming out of top grade form, and you have to be going pretty nicely to keep up with some of those dogs that are at that top level. It's raced against Sunset Hornet in the past when runner-up over the 400 metres on that occasion, running 22.23, which is pretty serviceable work. On what did happen in that race too was that the Hornet basically burned it off mid-race. West on Miley was coming back at it late. I think over the 488, West on Miley gets a good opportunity to sit right there, and if there's any chinks in the armour of Sunset Hornet late, and as you alluded to, we did see it step up to the 520 last week, and it did fade back to 5th. Overall time 30.31, only steady. So I'm happy enough to be with West on Miley on an each-way basis. A pay 1 and 2 only race, so $5 and $2.30 to run top 2 will get me for a play there in the 4th. Danger is number 6, Sunset Hornet. If it does get loose on the arm and put a really big space on them, then you would expect it to be hard to run down. But it might be. It's the sort of track where you can be left exposed late. And if there's any chink and it's running out of petrol tickets, the likes of West on Miley and also Stylish in Black could really be closing off hard late. So 4 each way from 6. Number 8 in Stylish in Black's been racing really well in town of late. 4 Carmody wins 2 of its last 4 in sub 30, 29.96, 29.80. They're really good runs for a race like this. If it can get across. It's got an awkward record from box number 8. That's the only reason I've got it in third. It's had 6 starts from the draw, yet to hit the frame. So that's the small concern with Stylish in Black, but the dog's going well. And then I had not much between 1, Sunset Lasso, 3, Our Girl Jupiter, who's a very consistent place getter, and the newcomer, number 2, Trunky Irene, who's across from New South Wales. And form not too bad there. I'd be more than happy to throw it into trifectas and first fours. 4 each way from 6, 8 and 1 for me in race number 4, first of the Oaks Heats tonight. On to race number 5. This is the first leg of the quaddie, second of the Oaks Heats, vacant in box number 5. Another warm favourite here in the form of number 6, Sunset Serengeti. It has been easy to back early though, Jesse. 128 out to 150. Money for Lip Tricks off the wide draw, 6 into 5. Heart Emoji, 8 into 7. Scramble Button, 10. As big as 14 now. 750 has been a nice mover. West on Libby, 10 to 12. Go Seek Francine, 15 out to 23. Back into its opening quote. And Wise Abalone been the easiest to back. 13 out to $21. You're happy to be involved at the $1.50 with Sunset Serengeti?
Odds on look on, I think, over 488, especially in some of these high-quality open class heats. But it's really good her last 2 efforts in 27.02, 27.06. She deserves to be the favourite. She's going to take an almighty power of stopping. For second, number 4, Heart Emoji. She's been good her last 2 as well. Wins in 22.38 over the 400 and a quick 27.29 win, defeating Examiner in mixed 4-5 company. Comes up into open class tonight. For third, 2, Scramble Button. Greyhound, who still has 2 novices to win. This was a nice effort behind Zinc last week. The time was only flash in 30 and 17, but the winner did go best at night time, and there was a a handy mixed 4-5 as race on that Carter Axelrod took out, and he went no quicker than what Zinc did. So I thought it was a full of merit run. Scramble Button showed a lot of early dash. And for third and for fourth, I'll throw in 8 Lip Tricks. Form over the 400 metres is pretty good, but it does step up to the 488. Has been placed on her one start over the trip. 6, 4, 2 and 8, race 5.
Pretty similar for me, 6, 4, 8, 2, 6 on top, Sunset Serengeti, aiming up, win number 4 from its last 5 starts. She's going great guns, putting herself into the races from similar middle draws. I don't think there'll be too many dramas early with Sunset Serengeti rolling across into a good spot, and from there are likely to be very hard to run down. From the kennel mate, number 4, Heart Emoji. 8 Lip Tricks is racing really well at the moment for Cody Charles. This win on Tuesday night, drawn closer to the fence on that occasion, but stepped well, was able to hold them out, hold the rail, and 22.31. That was off a 22.23 win prior to that. So recent 400 metre form's been very good. Has been round off a wide draw here and run 27.61. Would have to probably trim that up to be in the finish here, but I think it's going better now than it was at that stage, so wouldn't be a surprise to see it in the mix. And number 2, as you alluded to, Scramble Button, I think it's a dog worth following. Maybe in a little bit easier than what it runs into here, but I don't think the next win will be too far away for Eric Campana. 6, 4, 8 and 2, race number 5. We move on to race 6 next of the Mandurah Oaks Heats, and this is a really good race, one I'm very much looking forward to. And Jesse, I made this the first of my specials for the night, number 4, Wise Barra. Thought it was an excellent performance last week. I think the key to this race is the vacant in box number 5. So what that's going to allow is Wise Barra to just get 3 or 4 steps in early, and that's key for this dog because we know it likes to use plenty of the track, and we also know that it just takes 3 or 4 steps to really wind up. I think it's going to get that room here, Wise Barra. From the wide draw here last week, it was a stunning effort, 27.14. The dog that ran second was right there throughout, Kisses for Chaos, and it's no slouch. Kisses for Chaos never really looked like running her down, though, and I think Wise Barra, with that safe getaway again, will be very hard to defeat. From number 1, Shy Emoji, has gone as quick as 27.3 here. Last few runs have all been consistent. Number 8, Tahiti Dreams, can show a bit of burn. Coming off a really nice win there on Sandgroper Night in 29.83. It was a career best for this canine. It's put in some really, really nice runs on the way through. Has 1, 2 or 5 from box number 8, so shouldn't pose too many problems. First look out of the 488 metre boxes, I guess, is a slight query, but the dog's certainly going well enough. And number 6, Trunky May. This is another of these New South Wales visitors, and went back and watched a bunch of these replays last night. Really strong. This dog gets over 600 metres, so it'll be hitting the line really well, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Trunky May right there in the mix at a nice price. 4, 1, 8 and 6 made it a BB, one of anyway, Wise Barra in race number 6, Jesse.
I've gone 4, 8, 1 and 2. Wise Barra looks pretty hard to beat. Was really impressive in that win last week behind Kisses for Chaos. I thought the run was even better behind Burglemy 2 starts ago from a wide draw. We know she likes to use a little bit of the track. There's not an awful lot of speed in this race. Has to clear Don't Tell Dash, with that's probably the main concern, who really does like to fly out of the boxes. For second, number 1, Shy Emoji. She could run a good race from an inside draw. Was a 27.30 winner in the past in mixed 5-6 company. For third, number 8, Into Tahiti Dreams. Was a really nice win on Sandgroper Night, like you said, 29.83. Wasn't that far off the best today. And for fourth, I'll throw in number 2 in Girls Like You, another grade 5 winner in 27.33. Wasn't a bad effort. Does step up a lot in class. We look at race number 7, and we see the return of the track record holder in Crumble Manelli. Looking at the market now, he's currently 220. Sunset Ali at 360. And we've got Custard Manelli at 4, Barrier Beast at 7. Always a quality lineup, these free-for-alls on a Friday night. And we get to see the track record holder come back, and that's the way I'm going. I thought it was a really nice run. His effort behind Hinter in one of those City Class finals, 21.95, took out the Birthday Cup early in the year. I think he picks himself. He's going to be awfully hard to beat. For second, 8, Carla Catter, Greyhound, who I do like over the shorter trips. Wasn't a bad effort behind Disco Days. He didn't quite get into the run, but proven free-for-all chaser in the past. For third, number 2 in Custard Manelli, Greyhound, who's coming off a little break, hasn't been seen since December, but form and free-for-alls was really good. And for fourth, I will throw in number 1, King Shots, 5, 8, 2 and 1, race 7.
Really interesting race. Great to see Crumble Manelli back, and nice to see Custard Manelli going around here as well. Hasn't been seen since the New Year's Eve meeting. Custard Manelli and Crumble Manelli not seen since February. One thing we can say about Crumble is Track and Trip is an absolute rocket. 5 starts, 5 wins. Those numbers speak for themselves. I just want to see the dog, obviously, first start back for a little while. I'm happy enough to just watch this race, to be quite honest. Number 4, the kennelmate Sunset Ali is definitely a danger. Number 3 in Barrio Beast. If these 2 dogs show any signs of being maybe a little fresh and vulnerable late, Barrio Beast is the dog that'll be charging at them late. And then 2 Customanelli similar and 8 Colour Cat Up, as Jesse alluded to. Some of that recent work in town against the very best sprinters has been good. So 5, 4, 3 and 2, but I'll be watching on only in race number 7 with the return of a few of the very smart short courses. On to race number 8, and this is the feature of the night, the Greyhounds WA Mandurah Derby Final. $30,000 up for grabs here, and the market tells a story. It is wide open. Sunset Tyson, 5 into 330. Sunset Peppy, 340 to 350. My Anarchy Boy, 360 to 350. We then see Kanan Stark, 5 out to 7. Sunset Nightjar, 5 to 750. Sunset Comanche, 10 into 8, has seen some specking. And the outsiders of the field, Another James, 41 to 61. And Emerald Guard, 41 to 61 as well. Jesse, a race with a lot of early pace, and the map was quite tricky to dissect. I'll be interested to get your thoughts here on tonight's feature.
I've gone a 1, 6, 3 and 2. I am a big Meineke Boy fan, and I thought his run was awesome last week when defeating Sunset Peppy, but I've got Sunset Peppy on top just from the draw. There's a lot of early speed here. Sunset Nightjar, Another James, and Sunset Comanche, Sunset Tyson. I think it's going to be hard for Meineke Boy to land in a prominent spot, although he was the fastest qualifier by a couple of lengths. I've landed on Sunset Pepe on top, the greyhound who he defeated in his heat. He comes up with box number 1. He's yet to win, but has only had the 1 start. Record from box 2 was really good. 3 starts for 2 wins. I think Sunset Pepe can land on the arm. He has broken 27 seconds twice in the past, so he's more than capable. With the draw, I think he comes out as pretty hard to beat. For second, 6 Meineke Boy, he was brilliant last week. He got into a really prominent role. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to get to where he wants to be on the track tonight with all this speed. Still broken 27 seconds a couple of times in the past. Proven free-for-all chaser over this trip as well. Defeated No Limit Eddie going back to early February. For third, number 3 in Sunset Nightjar. If there's Sunset Peppy doesn't lead, I'm pretty confident that Sunset Nightjar will be up there as well. For fourth, I'll throw in number 2, Cannon Stark. Was a really good run behind Sunset Nightjar. Just checked our fields at the wrong time, and I think me and you were both on him last week as one of our better bets. Just let us down just with some of these race manoeuvres, but he's definitely going to be in the finish. It's going to be an interesting one, 1, 6, 3 and 2. If you liked anything else, I couldn't tip you out of it because Emerald Guard was a massive run. Sunset Comanche, we know how good he is. He's going to be flying home late. And Sunset Tyson, he's been there and done it in open class races before, and this is an age-restricted affair. A 1, 6, 3 and 2, race number 8.
6, 2, 8 and 1 for me in the big one. Sticking with my Anarchy Boy, fastest qualifier. Just love this dog at Mandurah. Gee, it loves the place. Map sticky, but I'm just banking on class getting the job done with my Anarchy Boy. From number 2, Kanan Stark, should be right up there. Just zigged when it needed to zag last week. That's all it came down to. It was probably pretty stiff in the end, but didn't mind the run. Number 8, Sunset Tyson. Look, if this dog steps, then we know it's got one of the biggest motors in the state. Just can be unpredictable at box rise, and that's not always great for punters that take shortish odds. Number 1, Sunset Peppy has the draw to boot up and give a whole lot of cheek. If you're breaking 27 on the arm, normally pretty hard to run down. Absolutely respecting Sunset Nightjar with that early pace. And Sunset Comanche is likely to get back, but can rattle off some of the best run home times in the business when it's tuned up. So it's tricky, but we're here to give you opinions, and mine is 6, 2, 8 and 1 in the big one tonight, the Mandurah Derby Final. Good luck to everyone with runners there. Zipping through these last 4 races, race number 9, the Zachman Elliott Stud Mixed Grade 4 and 5 over the 400 metres. Can You Kraken, our $2.20 favourite in front of West on Smoky $3.10 and Sunset Blackhawk $4.
6851 for me. 6 Kenya Kraken on top was brilliant last week. 22.31 says it all. Nice second the week before behind Trevor's Gift. He's a proven city class chase. Was broken 30 seconds at Cannington. Don't think this field should give him too many worries. For second, 8 Sunset Blackhawk. 15 starts for 4 wins over the trip. For third, number 5 West on Smoky. Hasn't been running too bad over the 488 and 400 metres. Don't let him slip out of your guard. He's more than capable of matching it with Kenya Kraken and Sunset Blackhawk on his night. And for fourth, I'll throw on 1 Ash the Flash off the inside draw. 6851, race number 9.
Shazam, and I'll make the 6 a special. Kenya Kraken, I thought that was a really good performance last week. City class style of dog, back to the 400. Really nice performance. 8 perfectly drawn Sunset Blackhawk. 11 starts off the floss. 5 wins, 4 placings, so 9 of 11. From a placing perspective, 5 West on Smoky can really run along if it gets a look at them, and Ash the Flash done nothing wrong of late. 6851 on to race number 10, 50 years of racing, Joan Hill. It's over the 400 metres. Important scratching, Jesse, as you alluded to, of the dog that would have been the favourite here in Unleashed Mayhem. I think that now leaves number 1, Apache Havoc, in with really good claims here. It's another special on the program for me off the inside draw. Can bounce back after having no luck at its last couple and use the draw to advantage. From number 3, Danny Heffernan, it'll be strong late. 6, Esperance Ace, doesn't mind a bit of room to move. And Brain Teaser, up in grade now, but last 2 wins have been good. 1, I'll make it one of the best from 3, 6 and 7.
I will go 1, 3, 8 and 7, Apache Havoc on top. I think Greyhound looks the one to beat. 22-17 winner in the past in novice class company. Just been found out in graded company. Before then, finished down the track in a sprinters plate heat, so he's right down in class. I think he's going to be too hard, too good for these. For second, 3, Danny Heffernan, Greyhound, who always says bobs up now and then in Provincial 5 company, was a winner in 22.52. For third, number 8 in Pyroclasm, Greyhound, who wasn't a bad run behind Mad Still on Monday. Before then was a good grade 6 winner in 21.94 at Cannington. And for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Brain Teaser, who's stepping back up to the 400 off some nice 300-metre efforts. 1, 3, 8 and 7, race number 10.
1, 3, 8 and 7 for Jesse. Hopefully not too far away from having Ryan Levitsky join us with his thoughts for this Friday after this Friday morning for the Friday and Saturday meetings, and maybe even something for Sunday, Monday or Tuesday. We're up to race number 11 tonight here at Mandurah. The Prime Trophy's grade 5 over the 488 metres. Another pretty open market here, all about Coal 3 and firm, a little bit bitter 360 and firm. Butter Me Up, $3.50 out to $3.70. Indigo Ruby 4 to $4.20. West on Fever 8, it's 13 upwards from there. How do you see race 11, Jesse?
I'm going 3, 6, 1 and 4. 3 all about Coal on top. I think this race has a fair bit of early speed, and this Greyhound's not going to be getting involved in any early speed battles. He'll drop back to the fence, and he's awfully strong. He might be able to run some of these chasers down. For second, number 6 in Little Bit Bitter. Form over the 488. It's not great, but has won twice from 11 starts. For third, number 1 in Indigo Ruby. Greyhound is going to be on speed. She might get a little bit tired late. And for fourth, I will throw in number 4 in Butter Me Up. 3, 6, 1 and 4, race 11.
I'll go with the 3 all about Coal. It'll be charging to the line late. It was a very impressive 27-18 winner going back a couple of starts ago. This is probably a little bit tougher. Big Dangers 4, Butter Me Up, out to the 488 here. We've seen this dog a winner over this distance, going back a handful of starts ago in 27.51, something like that you'd think would be right there in the mix. Number 6 in A Little Bit Bitter is another Greyhound class-wise. Looks pretty well placed here after going around in some hot fields of late. And 1 Indigo Ruby, 3, 4, 6, 1. And the lucky last, the 50 years of racing, John Revitt. There's a mix 4-5 over the 488 metres. Here we see Erasmus Duke, 320, Tweak Freak, 4, Outlaw McGraw, 420, Kisses for Chaos, 480, Trevor's Gift at $5.
I've gone 1, 5, 4 and 2. 1 Outlaw McGraw on top. Wasn't a bad effort behind Spider Venom in a sprinter's plate heat. Steps up to the 488 for the first time. Has won over the 500 in the past. For second, 5 Tweak Freak. For third, 4 in Kisses for Chaos. And for fourth, I will throw in 2 Trevor's Gift. 1, 5, 4, 2. We'll go home with a bit of value there with Outlaw McGraw.
Yeah, looks a good chance. I'm going to stick with Erasmus Duke. Gee, this dog's been racing in a real purple patch of form of late. It's really developed into a nice type for the connections, having a great ride with the Duke. From number 1, Outlaw McGraw, if it gets a start right, could really be humming along up front. Number 4 in Kisses for Chaos, and number 5 in Tweak Freak. 2, Trevor's Gift, I thought was a solid run there last time out as well. A few winning hopes in the last, but I'll go 8, 1, 4 and 5. Best bets and a quaddie tonight, Jesse?
Race 1, number 1, Bracton. Race 5, number 5, Fancy That Fred. And race 7, number 5, Crumble Manelli. My better bets for a quaddie will go 4-6 the first leg, 4-8 the second leg, 4-5 the third leg, and then 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 8 in that Derby final. Looks pretty hard to separate some of those runners, Shorty.
Absolutely. Best bets for me on the card. Race 6, number 4, Wise Barra. I think it looks well placed tonight if we can just avoid any early issues. Race 9 on the program, number 6, Kenya Kraken, and race 10, number 1, Apache Havoc. They'll be my 3 key plays for tonight. Quaddie wise, 4, 6, 8, leg 1, second leg 1, 4, 8, third leg 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and then coming home in that Derby final with numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. That final leg. Ryan Levitsky will be calling all of the action this evening there at Mandurah. He's been good enough to join us on Chasing Winners on this Friday morning. G'day, Ryan.
Good morning, Shorty.
Bit of excitement in the camp. Off to see the Western Bulldogs this weekend with the family.
I will be, yeah. We're Dockers members, but Bulldogs supporters, so we'll throw the blue, red and white on and hopefully get treated okay.
Well, it is one night that you'd like to think that one of the teams that you've got an interest in will go home with the 4 points, which is nice. So good luck. Enjoy the big game. Let's see if you can't help us find a few winners for Friday and Saturday night chasing. Tonight, we do get to see a pretty good program. Mandurah Derby finals, a ripper. Who do you like?
In the Derby, I like Sunset Nightjar. I like the odds. I think each way is a really good bet. I really like one in the first, Shorty, Bracton, for Shane Beard. Has been working home well. There's only 5 in the race, so each way with no third div looks a no-brainer to me. So race 1, number 1, Bracton's my best bet. Currently $5 fixed odds. Race 2, number 1, picks itself. Is very short, but will win. And race 8, number 3, Sunset Nightjar, each way. All
right. Moving on to Saturday night chasing at Cannington. We've got the Sprinters Plate final. Gee, there's some zippy types going around there. Better bets on the card?
Yeah, I like race 2, number 1, Molfetta Cruise. Just going to lead and set up a big break. Race 3, number 5, Sky Manelli. Very impressive last week. And Get a Beer in the Sprinters Plate, race 5, number 4. I just like the fact that Aussie Singman's drawn on its inside, and I think Get a Beer is going to be going very close to leading. Mm-hmm. So race 2, number 1, race 3, number 5, race 5, number 4.
We saw the dog give a bit of cheek in that capacity in the Good Friday Cup. Get a Beer.
Yeah. I don't think I called that.
It finished runner-up. I think it was run down late by Barry O'Beast. But, of course, Sunset Frazier finished third in that race and then went on to run very well in the Sandgroper. And the Sandgroper form lines we now know steaming hot. 5 of them went around last night, Ryan, and 4 of them won on their return to Victoria. So it's a pretty hot form line.
Well, so it should be.
Indeed.
What they're racing for.
Yeah, that's the truth. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday chasing here in the West. Has anything caught your eye for the listeners?
Oh, I love the first meeting at Northam. You just go with the proven, like the trainers, the proven dogs. So race 4, number 5, Comet Bay Katie to lead all the way, down to a grade 6 racing at Mandurah and Cannington, back to Northam, straight to the front. Good night, nurse. Race 4, number 5.
With genuine confidence, punters. He's always been a bit of an Avon Valley specialist, our man Ryan Levitsky, and he's chiming in race 4, number 5, Comet Bay Katie to return to Burwood Park as a winner there on Monday. Really appreciate your time as always, Ryan. Enjoy the footy this weekend and good calling tonight there for Mandurah Derby night.
You too, Shorty.
There we have it. Ryan Levitsky, the boy wonder. Gee, he's been a marvel. Great man for this sport for many, many years, and great catching up with him on this Friday morning. His better bets for the weekend you now have. Jesse, let's turn the page. Saturday night, Cannington. We've touched Sprinters Plate is the key race on the program, but lots of other really nice races up for debate. All gets underway at race number 1, 8 minutes after 7. It is the free entry Tab Touch Park Novice Grade 5 over the 380 metres. I'll kick us off here in the first. I'm pretty keen on the prospects of number 7, Cherry Blue. This dog's been very good at its most recent performances. Doesn't mind a wide draw. I thought it got a really good opportunity here to step and give them something to run down. So we'll start off hopefully with a winner in the form of number 7, Cherry Blue. From number 8 in Enjoyable, who can show a bit of zip. It may well get a card over and be right there in the finish. Number 4, Rhythmic Moment for Joe Daly. This is a really nice performance to win last time out. And I'll also include greyhound number 6 in Best Red Machine, who's coming off a victory last time out. Shades of Coon is not out of it either. But I thought number 7, if Cherry Blue could nail the start, it'd be pretty hard to beat here. 7, 8, 4 and 6.
7, 6, 8 and 3, 7 Cherry Blue on top. His last 2 efforts been good behind Paid in Full, Midnight Cooner. He's got a really quick beginner in Best Red Machine on his inside. He went 6.46 early last week. I think we'll give him a nice card into the race. We'll give her a nice card in the race. For second, 6 Best Red Machine. For third, 8 Enjoyable. And for fourth, I'll throw in 3 All Grunt. 7, 6, 8 and 3, race number 1.
7, 6, 8 and 3 for Jesse in the first. You tune into Chasing Winners on this Friday morning. We're at 17 minutes away from 10 o'clock. David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw taking you through Saturday night chasing out there at Cannington. Race number 2, the 50 years of racing, Brian Harwood. It's over the 600 metres. Drawn together some nice types here, but I thought Sneaky Emoji really did pick itself in this race. Unfortunately, the price is not overly juicy, and that's understandable because we have seen this dog go around here in a slashing 34 and 67. Something like that here would see it awfully hard to beat. It came from this draw 2 back when defeating Soul Survivor in 34 and 78. Again, a really nice form reference, and that 34.67 was a handful of runs ago. It took the very talented Weston Nugget to run it down on that occasion. Since then, runner-up behind Sunset Tyson in 29.80. This dog's got a lot of class, and with a safe getaway, I think it'll take a power beating. So 5 on top, Sneaky Emoji. To beat number 1, Molfetta Cruz, who's been racing really well in recent starts. It can certainly, off the draw, play a part in this particular event. Number 7, in Soul Survivor, was an excellent performance to get the cash last time out. And 3, Wooden Hands, like this dog when it draws near the inside. Don't leave out number 2, Sandy Bazza of your novelties either. This greyhound was a good winner for Cosy D'Agostino there last week. But Sneaky Emoji, I thought, pretty hard to beat. 5, 1, 7, 3.
Yeah, 5, 1, 8 and 4 for me. It's always hard for me to tip against Molfetta Cruz. He's one of my favourite greyhounds going around, but I think he just runs into one better than Sneaky Emoji. He's had the 2 runs of the trip, so he's got the distance in his legs. He was a 34.78 winner in the past. He was good second in 34.67. That's some lengths quicker than the rest of the field here. For second one, Molfetta Cruz. I've got no doubt he's a sub-35 second dog over the trip, but first up, he's got a lot of question marks. For third, 8 Pepper Grinder. One of my personal favourites, was a good novice winner in 34.95. She'll be strong to the line. And for fourth, I'll throw in 4 Window Shopper. 5, 1, 8 and 4, race number 2.
Moving on to race number 3 on the card, the Fuller Fitness. Good morning to you, Matty Fuller, and all your team there at Fuller Fitness. This is a grade 5 over the 715 metres. Thought Argyle Queen deserved another chance here. Run down in the shadows of the post last week behind Chloe Ant. Prior to that, placed behind Penny Magic, and before that was a really good winner in 41.93. Very nice time reference for a race like this. I thought from box 3, Argyle Queen would be able to roll forward, and from there, just with an ounce of luck, if it could put a little break on the mid-race, should be hard to run down. From 5, Sky Manelli. This was an excellent performance last week. Was coming off some really good Mandurah form and had no luck behind 90 Mile Rose, and then showed its best last week for Paul Kaltzis, winning in 42 and 39. Number 2 in Speed Freak is always very capable in these sorts of races, and 790 Mile Rose, if it can get across in the early stages. We did see this dog win over this trip in sub 42 seconds only a couple of starts ago. Something like that again would see 90 Mile Rose very, very competitive. 3, 5, 2 and 7 in race number 3.
I'll go 3, 7, 5 and 4. Number 3 in Argyle Queen on top. I think she's going to be really prone early here. Might need to get across Speed Freak, but I think she's got enough strength over the concluding stage to hold her out. For second, number 7, 90 Mile Rose, a greyhound who broke 42 seconds 2 back in a heat of the Miata. For third, number 5 in Sky Manelli. Tipped this greyhound out last week. Paid all right there at around $5. Was a good winner to defeat Speed Freak. And for fourth, I will throw in 4 Sage to Neil. 2, 1, 4 and 6 in race number 3.
2, 1, 4.
Sorry, 3, 7, 5, 4.
3, 7, 5 and 4. I was going to say we're good to go though there. 3, 7, 5, 4 for Jesse. 3, 5, 2 and 7 for yours truly. On to race 4, the Zachman Elliott stud. Free for all over the 520 metres. We get to see this greyhound, Sunset Fraser, who was placed in the Sandgroper last week. And market-wise, it is our $2.30 favourite. Pudding Manelli at 5, Hinto 5, Runaway to Mars 6, Eugenius 9, Bungee Man 9 and Inside Scoop 10. It's a very good field. Sunset Fraser, though, you would expect unleadable to the first corner. It rolls to the top. I'm going to head that way, 2 on top. I thought that number 7, Hinto, had to be respected greatly. These sorts of races never too far from the action. Number 1 in Runaway to Mars can certainly show up. It was a good effort last time out. And number 4, Eugenius, is in a purple patch of form for trainer Jay Jacobson. 2, 7, 1 and 4 in the 4th.
I will go 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 7 and 6. I'll go with 2 Sunset Fraser on top. Like you said, borderline unleadable, was really good last week behind the talented chaser and Hector Foley. I think it's going to be too hard to beat here. From 1, Runaway to Mars, took out that Sun Chaser final in good fashion, defeated the Perth Cup winner and Uncle Tommy. For 3rd, 7, Hinto, and for 4th, 6, Bungee Man, coming off that good 3rd behind Eugenius. 2, 1, 7 and 6 in race number 4.
We move on to the feature, race number 5, the Greyhounds WA Sprinters Plate Final, and just under 14,000 up for grabs here. Cracking final. Get a Beer, $4.80. Speedy Willow, $4.80. Aftershow, $5. Disco Daisy, $6. Agent 11, $6.50. West on Hazy, $6.50. Spider Venom at $13. Aussie Singman at $15. I wouldn't fall off my chair if any of these won, to be quite frank with you, Jesse. It's a star-studded lineup when it comes to these short courses. How have you seen the feature?
I'm going to go with Aftershow on top at $5. I think she's going to lead this race. She was a good second behind Spider Venom last week from an inside draw. Went 6.49 early. I think she's going to lead Disco Daisy into the first corner. Only went 6.57. Aussie Singman doesn't have a lot of speed. She's just got to hold out, Get a Beer, and Speedy Willow, who's drawn off the track. I think you're getting good value there for a chaser who could be really prominent on speed. For second, number 1, Disco Daisy was a good winner behind defeated Rubidium by 4 lengths there. 21.81 was one of the fastest qualifiers. For third, 7 in Agent 11, Greyhound, who really caught my eye. 21.71. That was from box 1, comes out to box 7 where it's yet to win from 9 starts. And for 4th, I'll throw in 4, Get a Beer. 2, 1, 7 and 4, race number 5.
2, 1, 7 and 4 for Jesse. Incredibly, I've got 3 different runners to what you've got, and that's the market at 480. The field tells you that it's wide open, and I think that Get a Beer is going to be pretty hard to beat here. It should benefit greatly for that look at the track last week. Prior form at Mandurah had been very good. From the 5, Speedy Willow's got a wonderful record track and trip. Then the 2 outsiders of the field, and I'm going to be double roving these 2. I think that they can both, as the only 2 dogs in the race at double figure odds. It's a race where there's a lot of dogs that do their best work leading. Only 1 or 2 of them are going to be able to get a good look at the arm in that capacity. These 2 dogs will be getting back and charging home late. If the doors open, no surprise at all to see Aussie Singman and also Spider Venom hit the frame as the outsiders of the field, and that could jack up trifectas and first 4s to healthy levels. So 4, 5, but certainly 6 and 3 are right in the mix to hit the frame at big odds in this race. 4, 5, 6 and 3 for me in the feature. We move on to race number 6, the Rest in Peace Tony Lee. This is a grade 5 over the 520 metres. And here we see Burglemere at $2.20, Sunset Mirage $4, Cadia Gold $4.20, Maximum Cooner at $6, Jamie Keeping $10, Coulterbale $13, and Lady Dior at $21.
7, 8, 1 and 3, 7 Burglemere on top. Wasn't a bad effort behind Sunset Tyson at Mandurah. I don't think he really likes Mandurah as much as he does Cannington. His form at Cannington's a lot better. 17 starts, 7 wins and 5 minors. Is a good 29.69 winner, defeated Wise Barrow, who goes around as one of the favourites for the Oaks Series. Before then, Sunset Beppo, who's one of the prominent players in the Derby final there in 29.71. He's defeated both those chasers. For second, number 8, Maximum Cooner. This Greyhound you're probably going to get pretty good value about. Racing well in open class company. Comes out of free-for-alls. He took out a Perth Cup consolation earlier in the year, and he's run 29.70 in the past. For third, number 1, Acadia Gold. And for 4th, I'll throw in 3, Coulterbale, 7, 8, 1 and 3, race number 6.
7, 8, 4, 1, and claims can be made for 3 and 2 here. If Bergelmere steps and gets right there, it will be hard to beat, no doubt. But it's not locked on. Maximum Kuna has run some great races of late for the Chile man. Sunset Mirage is very capable on its night. Katie Gold off the inside has got great muster. It could really zoom through and be hard to hold out. And the two dogs that are going to be sort of sitting on them and coming home late, you'd think Jamie Keeping, who can show a bit of early but's been running over longer, and similar story with Coulter Bale. So good race, 7, 8, 4 and 1 for me in race number 6. We move to race number 7, the Auto Owls Bentley. This is a free-for-all over the 600 metres, and Weston Booney, the Galaxy winner, goes around here from a wide draw, is the odds-on favourite at $1.65. Nangar Chief at $4.60, Chloe Ant $6, Penny Magic at $7.
We've seen a similar scenario between these two chasers, Nangar Chief and Weston Booney, in the past over this trip. I think it's going to play out pretty much exactly the same way the week out before the Galaxy heats, with Nangar Chief running some cracking sectionals. I think he's just going to be run down by Weston Booney, who I've got on top. He's won, 4 of his last 6 starts, including 2 wins. He's undefeated over the trip as well. Doesn't mind box 8, 7 starts for 3 wins and 5 minus. He's got his talented chase for the field. He's going to be awfully hard to stop. 2, Nangar Chief. It's up to him to run the tempo. I think he's a good 29.78 winner in the past. He's broken 35 seconds pretty comfortably. For third, number 5, Harley Manelli, a greyhound who's proven in free-for-alls over this trip. Wasn't a bad run behind Carter Axelrod last week. And for fourth, I'll throw in number 7 in Chloe Ant. 8, 2, 5 and 7, race number 7.
Yeah, I read it the same way. I think Weston Booney's a special. Should camp right up there with the Chief and be too strong late from Nangar Chief. Look a nice Quinella. 1, Penny Magic's been flying for the Chile man from the draw. Will be right there, and I would expect number 5, Harley Manelli, to never be far from the action as the outsider of the field. You must include it because it's a strong, strong hope to be running top 4. It never runs a bad race. In its last 10 starts, it's only finished outside the top 4 on 1 occasion. So that is very, very consistent. 8, 2, 1 and 5, Weston Booney, one of the bets of the night. 6 minutes away from 10. We'll zip through these last 5 races. Jesse, race number 8 is the free-for-all over the 380 metres.
I'm going with 8, Little Bit Twisted on top. A greyhound who likes a wide draw. Record at the track and trips excellence. 12 starts, 10 wins, 2 minors. Proven an open class company. You don't just win 10 races over the trip by chance. For second, 5, Terra County, a greyhound who's racing really well in country class free-for-alls. Wasn't a bad effort behind Weston Hazy in the much harder open class heats. For third, number 3, Stella Forever. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Idle a While. 8, 5, 3 and 6 in race number 8.
8, 5, 3 and 6 for Jesse in race 8. I've made this the best bet of the weekend. A little bit twisted. Loves a wide draw. 6 starts from there for 3 wins, 2 placings. And Jesse touched on its overall record here over 380 metres. It absolutely loves the joint. You'll struggle to find too many dogs with better records than 12 starts at the trip for 10 and 2 placings. So 8, we'll label it a BB. From 5, Terra County. 2, Daff's Yak can add a bit of value to the trifectas and first 4s. And number 6, Idle a While. 8, 5, 2 and 6. On to race number 9, Maiden over the 520 metres.
With 4, 7, 1 and 8, 4 Kaiser Spirit on top. Broke 30 seconds in a qualifying trial. That's going to be more than handy chaser throughout his career. And really, there's not too much opposition here. He's got some 5 or 6 lengths off the qualifying trial effort. For second, 7, Gnarly Nala. Wasn't a bad effort behind Passing Clouds over the 520 a couple of weeks ago. For third, number 1, Such a Vibe, coming off some qualifying trial efforts. Has broken 30 and 60. And for fourth, I will throw in number 8 in Quicklands. 4, 7, 1 and 8, race 9.
Yeah, I'll go 4 on top here from number 1, throwing in number 5 and 7. 4, 1, 5 and 7. And I did see this dog quality trial out there on Sandgroper night. Elite. This dog won't be a maiden for too long. It's probably going to be short and it'll probably jog in. 4, 1, 5, 7. Race number 10, Novice over the 520 metres.
8, 6, 7 and 3, 8 coming off Toad, coming off a good win in that maiden series final, defeated Passing Clouds by 5 lengths. Found out in a heat of the Mandurah Derby when he got into all sorts of trouble. He's got a big motor, this greyhound. He's broken 30 seconds. For second, 6, Apple Crumble. This greyhound's going to set the race up for Toad, you would think, with his early speed. Unfortunately for Peter, I think he's going to run another placing. For third, 7, Night Moon. And for fourth, I will throw in 3 in Nice Wicket. 8, 6, 7 and 3, race number 10.
Yeah, nice young dog, Toad. Gets room them to move here will be hard to beat. From 6, Apple Crumble looks set for another silver or bronze. 3, Nice Wicket, and 7, Night Moon. 8, 6, 3, 7. Race number 11, the KCR Pet Transport Novice over the 600 metres.
I'm going 7, 4, 8 and 2. 7 Passing Clouds first up over the trip. What caught my eye was the run home time last week when finishing behind Arbolino. Came home at 11.09, which suggests the 600 metres is going to be right up his alley. There's going to be a lot less speed than some of these 520-metre events, so he's going to land pretty prominent. For second, 4 Timon Lane. Geez, pretty disappointing last week. He's a character, this trick chaser. He needs a tearaway leader. We saw that in the past 3 starts ago when Zinc got out in front and he ran that 34.67. For third, number 8 in Coco Shimmer, first up over the trip. Efforts haven't been terrible at Cannington of late. And for fourth, I will throw in number 2 in Craving Kuna, 7, 4, 8 and 2, race 11.
7, 4, 1 and 8. Didn't have a lot between the 7 and the 4, but Passing Clouds looks well suited with a step up in trip. 4, Timon Lane, capable at its best. 1, Hippie Trail runs a lot of placings. And 8, Coco Shimmer, first look at the trip. And the last race, number 12, grade 5 over the 380 metres.
7, 5, 8 and 2 with 7, Fizzy Crizzy on top. She's won her last 2, albeit in country class company. The time's been really well above the provincial class standard here for a grade 5. I think she'll take it out from number 5, Search History. Interesting to see how he goes first up in the state. 12 starts for 6 wins, so suggest there is a massive motor there for Ben McLean. For third, 8, Opal Deluxe, who's running well over the 300 metres. And for fourth, I will throw in 2, Charlie's Harley, 7, 5, 8 and 2, race 12.
7, 6, 5 and 2 for yours truly in the last. Best bets in a quaddie, Jesse?
Race 2, number 5, Sneaky Emoji over the 600. Race 5, number 2, After Show in the Sprinters Plate. And race 7, number 8, West on Boone is going to take a power of betting with his strength. For the quaddie, we'll go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in that Sprinters Plate final. Anything could win it. The second leg, 7 and 8. Third leg, standout 8. And for the final leg, 5 and 8 there, Shorty.
Okay, best bets for me on Saturday night. We'll be kicking things off in race number 2 with number 5. That's pretty trim in the market, but 2-5 looks hard to beat. Race 1, number 7, Cherry Blue, also really well placed. And then later in the card, race 7, number 8, and race 8, number 8 is the very best of them. So for me, 1, 7, 2, 5, 7, 8, 8, 8. My quaddie, field leg 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, leg 2. 2 and 8, leg 3, 8 on its own final leg. So field 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 2, 8, 8, $96 for a full unit. Just under $10 will get you 10%. That is Chasing Winners done and dusted on this Friday morning. All the very best to you, Jesse. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Shorty. Hopefully many winners out there for the punters.
Indeed, and to you, Matty McDermott, high class as always. Looking forward to hearing your dulcet tones over the course of the weekend. Punters, thanks for joining us this morning on Chasing Winners.